Get ready to dive into the darkest corners of cinema as we count down the top 10 extremely graphic movies that push boundaries like no other. From brutal violence to shocking gore, these films are not for the faint-hearted. Brace yourself for intense scenes that will challenge your limits and leave a lasting impression. Watch at your own risk as we explore the most disturbing and visually extreme movies ever made. Stay tuned if you dare. The Skin I Live In is a Spanish psychological thriller about Dr. Robert Ledgard, a brilliant plastic surgeon who develops an artificial skin resistant to damage. Haunted by personal tragedy, he secretly keeps a young woman captive in his secluded estate, using her as a human subject for his experimental skin grafts. The story gradually reveals complex family secrets and explores themes of identity, trauma, and revenge, all set within a tense, eerie atmosphere. The film is considered graphic due to its intense and disturbing content, including scenes of captivity, bodily experimentation, sexual violence, and psychological horror. Its portrayal of body modification and human suffering is unsettling and visceral, blending medical science with dark, gothic elements that challenge viewers emotionally and visually. The Killing of a Sacred Deer follows Stephen Murphy, a successful cardiothoracic surgeon whose life unravels after he befriends a peculiar teenager, Martin Lang. Martin's father died under Stephen's care during surgery, and Martin slowly infiltrates Stephen's family with increasingly disturbing demands. When Stephen's children begin suffering mysterious, debilitating symptoms, Martin reveals a chilling ultimatum. To balance the scales for his father's death, Stephen must sacrifice a member of his own family. The film explores themes of justice, retribution, and moral dilemmas in a tense, unsettling atmosphere. The movie is considered graphic due to its intense psychological horror, disturbing themes, and unsettling scenes, including bodily afflictions and violence, as well as its cold, emotionless tone that heightens the sense of dread and existential horror. The opening scene of real open-heart surgery footage and the portrayal of physical and emotional torment contribute to its graphic nature. The 2008 film Trans-Siberian follows an American couple, Roy and Jesse, returning home from a Christian mission in China via the famous Trans-Siberian Railway. Their journey turns tense when they share a cabin with Carlos, a charming but dangerous Spaniard, and his young American girlfriend, Abby. After Roy misses a train stop, Jesse finds herself alone with Carlos and Abby, leading to a series of unsettling events involving deception, danger, and murder. The story explores trust, suspicion, and the dark undercurrents beneath seemingly ordinary travel. The movie is considered graphic due to its intense and sometimes brutal scenes, including psychological tension, violence, and a grim torture sequence. These elements contribute to a raw and unsettling atmosphere, amplifying the thriller's suspense and emotional impact. The 2015 film Baskin follows 5 police officers who, after responding to a distress call, find themselves trapped in an abandoned Ottoman-era police station that serves as a gateway to hell. As they explore, they encounter a horrifying cult engaged in a black mass, and the line between reality and nightmare blurs. The film uses a disorienting narrative with shifting perspectives and dreamlike sequences, creating a tense, dread-filled atmosphere. The movie is graphic due to its intense body horror, visceral gore, and disturbing imagery. It avoids cheap jump scares, instead building terror through surreal visuals, brutal violence, and a claustrophobic, filthy setting. Scenes of ritualistic bloodshed and grotesque torment contribute to its reputation as a harrowing, hellish nightmare. The 2005 film Hostel follows 2 American college friends, Paxton and Josh, who backpack through Europe seeking adventure. They are persuaded to visit a Slovakian hostel promising beautiful women and wild parties. However, their dream vacation turns dark when they and their friends start disappearing under mysterious circumstances. Paxton soon discovers a horrifying secret behind the hostel, involving torture and a sinister underground operation. The film is graphic due to its explicit depiction of violence and torture scenes. It does not shy away from showing brutal, intense gore that is integral to the story, creating a sense of helplessness and dread. The graphic content serves to heighten the horror and suspense, making the audience confront the terrifying reality faced by the characters. The 2009 film Dogtooth tells the story of a controlling couple who keep their 3 adult children confined within their isolated family compound, cutting them off from the outside world. The parents manipulate their children's understanding of reality by inventing new meanings for common words and enforcing strict rules, maintaining a surreal, distorted domestic environment. The children live in a state of perpetual childhood, unaware of the world beyond the fence, with their parents using indoctrination, misinformation, and violence to control them. The arrival of an outsider, Christina, disrupts the fragile balance, introducing temptation and challenging the family's rigid control. Dogtooth is considered graphic due to its unsettling depiction of psychological and physical control, taboo themes, and explicit scenes involving sexuality and violence. The film's stark and disturbing portrayal of manipulation and abuse pushes boundaries, making it a provocative and challenging watch. We Are the Flesh is a Mexican-French horror film set in a post-apocalyptic world where two siblings, Lucio and Fauna, wander a ruined city searching for food and shelter. They find refuge in an abandoned building inhabited by a strange man named Mariano, who offers them shelter in exchange for their help, transforming the space into a cave-like structure. Mariano imposes disturbing demands on the siblings, leading them into a dark, surreal world of taboo and transgression as they struggle to survive. The film is graphic due to its explicit depiction of extreme themes. The graphic content is not gratuitous, but serves to challenge viewers with its intense, allegorical portrayal of cruelty and lust intertwined in a post-apocalyptic setting. Bone Tomahawk is a Western horror film set in the 1890s about a small-town sheriff who leads a posse to rescue three people kidnapped by a savage, cannibalistic tribe known as troglodytes. After a stranger is shot and locked up in the town of Bright Hope, he and others are abducted by this brutal cave-dwelling clan. The sheriff, along with his deputy, a gunslinger, and the husband of one captive, embark on a dangerous journey into hostile territory to save them. The story blends classic Western elements with intense horror as the rescuers face a ruthless enemy whose savagery is beyond anything they have encountered. The movie is graphic due to its unflinching depiction of brutal violence and cannibalism, especially in the final act. It features intense and shocking scenes of torture and gore, including a notorious sequence where a captive is gruesomely mutilated. This sudden shift from a slow-paced Western to a relentless horror thriller with explicit violence is what makes Bone Tomahawk notably graphic and disturbing. A Serbian film tells the story of Miloš, a semi-retired porn star living in Belgrade with his wife and young son. Struggling financially but wanting to secure his family's future, Miloš is drawn back into the adult film industry by an offer to star in an art film directed by the enigmatic Vukmir. Unaware of the film's true nature, Miloš soon discovers it involves a series of horrific and exploitative acts that push him into unimaginable darkness. The film explores themes of power, control, and the exploitation of innocence, serving as a disturbing allegory for political and social turmoil in Serbia. The movie is considered graphic and highly controversial due to its explicit depiction of extreme sexual violence and torture. These scenes are portrayed in a visceral, unflinching manner designed to shock and provoke, blurring the line between art and exploitation. Bug is a psychological thriller centered on Agnes, a lonely waitress living in a dilapidated Oklahoma motel who forms a bond with Peter, a troubled Gulf War veteran. As their relationship deepens, Peter's paranoia about a government conspiracy involving flesh-eating bugs implanted in their bodies intensifies, blurring the line between reality and delusion. Agnes, grappling with her own trauma and loss, becomes drawn into Peter's escalating fears, leading to a tense, claustrophobic unraveling of their mental states. The film is considered graphic due to its explicit depiction of violence, intense psychological distress, and sexual content. Scenes include disturbing self-inflicted injuries, such as Peter pulling out his own teeth to remove imagined bugs. The film's raw portrayal of paranoia and mental illness, combined with visceral imagery and unsettling themes, contribute to its hard R rating and graphic nature. And that's a wrap on today's recommendations. Let me know which movie in this list you're most excited to watch, or if you have any hidden gems you want me to check out. Don't miss out on the latest picks. Make sure you're subscribed and hit the notification bell. See you in the next one. Until next time, happy watching.